A lot of your favorite hip hop labels have that honorary person that's an unofficial member of the group. I'm talking about the Capodanas and the Big Noids of the world. For Roc-A-FELLA, that was Sauce Money. Sauce was that dude, and his pen game is legendary. So if you're like me, you're probably wondering why he's not shoulder to shoulder with Jay-Z right now. I'm sure there are reasons, and I'm gonna try to dig into what those reasons might be.
Broadway the Lyricist, homie, just let me do my thing. I'm on top, on my grind, I'ma always get it.
If it's not already obvious, I'm a lyrics guy. I strongly believe that the writer can shape a song as much as the beat. So when I think of some of the best ghostwriters that carved out a space for ghostwriting, period, Sauce Money immediately comes to mind. So this is a big salute to the scribes behind the scenes. So the year is 1994 and Big Daddy Kane releases a track called Show and Prove. It was a posse cut that had a Young Jay, ODB, Shaheem, and Sauce Money all in one cypher. I know, that sounds crazy. But from the moment Sauce's verse came in, here I come with the slick rap, tic-tac-toe, how I flip tracks, so give me my dick back. I knew that this dude was gonna be a problem. Shortly after that, about 2 years later, Reasonable Doubt drops, and Sauce Money opens up the Primo-produced classic, Bring It On, with arguably one of the best verses on that. Now you gotta remember, this was during one of the most pivotal moments in hip-hop when Jay was just beginning what would become a legendary career in hip-hop. Here's the part most people don't fully understand. Sauce Money was never fully signed to Roc-A-FELLA. While Bleak, Beans, and others took deals, he stood independent. He walked that fine line of collaborator, not employee, and that decision would create a lot of distance later on. A lot of people may not know or might not remember that Sauce Money was the man responsible for writing the Puffy and Faith tribute to Biggie, I'll Be Missing You. Yeah, that international global smash came from words that Sauce crafted, but he wasn't always credited in the light that you'd expect. His solo debut, Middle Finger You, dropped in 2000 on Priority Records and featured Jay-Z, Puff, and Memphis Bleak. While it wasn't a massive commercial hit, it definitely had classics like Pre-Game and Face Off 2000, both featuring Jay. Overall, you couple that with some solid features like Bring It On, Reservoir Dogs, and Show and Prove, these were projects that built a solid foundation for Sauce. Why the friction with Jay-Z? No one public statement nails that entire riff, but the clues were definitely there. Sauce didn't really sink into Roc-A-FELLA's business model, and I suppose that choice kind of distanced him a little bit. Apparently, he called out some industry hypocrisy as well. In 2019 and 2020, he went at Diddy, and by extension, some of his peers, on a track called Love Tap. Another thing was when Jay-Z's NFL deal came, there was some backlash from a lot of people that questioned his alignment, his principles, and his loyalty. And Sauce might have been one of them. In his own words, Sauce said, quote, "Jay's my brother and it's not for me to air it out in public." So that definitely tells me that there's respect, but there's also boundaries there. Listen, you can't measure influence by chart position alone. Sauce's pen is undeniable. Every year on the anniversary of Biggie's passing, when you hear that I'll Be Missing You, remember, we wouldn't have that iconic song had it not been for Sauce. Also, if you remove him from Roc-A-FELLA's early years, the whole architecture of that label shifts. And finally, Sauce Money was the blueprint for all ghostwriters. Anyone watching who writes behind the scenes, you know how important you are to the process, even when your name is not on the cover. I might be biased, but I definitely have a soft spot for talent not getting their due, especially when their DNA is on records that have been successful. Sauce stuck to his pen, and in my opinion, he stayed solid. So if that meant that some doors were closed because of it, then maybe those doors weren't meant for him to walk through. So yeah, once again, this is a salute to the one and only Sauce Money, the Roc-A-FELLA adjacent, lyrical beast, and legendary ghostwriter. You guys already know the drill. Are you familiar with Sauce Money? If so, drop your favorite verse or track in the comments. And if you guys want a recommendation, go listen to Against the Grain from the Soul in the Hole soundtrack. And if you enjoyed my commentary on this video, be sure to click that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Click that bell icon so you guys get notified whenever I post new content just like this. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, click right here to see more. Peace.